Welcome back for the skeleton system part 2. We're going to be talking about our appendicular bones today and articulations, which if you remember are joints. Appendicular skeleton, which is going to be our pectoral girdle or our shoulder girdle, talking about our clavicle or our collarbone here, and our shoulder blade or scapula in the back. So again, a girdle wraps around the body, and you typically have two sets that complete a full wraparound. So we have the clavicle here and the scapula going around back. Going from our girdle, going down, we have our humerus, which is this large bone of the arm. And that's why we kind of think it's funny when we knock our elbow, because it's humorous. Did it? And then we have the two bones of the lower forearm, which are going to be the ulna and the radius. Then going into our wrists, we have the carpal. You can remember that because of carpal tunnel syndrome from typing all the time. And then we have the metacarpals. And then we have our phalanges, which are going to be our fingers. Moving from our shoulder and arm, we're going to move down to the pelvis and the legs. The pelvis is going to be this butterfly-shaped bone here at the base of our spine. And we have a male pelvis versus a female pelvis. Females tend to have a wider pelvic region so that we can hold the baby. And we have a piece of cartilage here that stretches much more than males so that the baby can come out during birth. From our pelvis area, which we do have that cartilage, which is called the pubic symphysis, we have our main thigh bone, which is our femur. Moving to our kneecap, which is the patella. Then the lower leg. The lower leg, just as the lower arm, has two bones. We have the tibia, which is the bigger one, and the fibula, which is the smaller one. You can remember that the fibula is the smaller one because you tell a small fib. And so a fib is the smaller one. Then you have your tarsals, your metatarsals, and then your phalanges. So carpals and tarsals, metacarpals and metatarsals, and then both phalanges. But remember, the carpals are going to be in your wrist because you get that carpal tunnel syndrome. Moving on to articulations, which are going to be joints. We have our fibrous joints, or our synarthroses. That's the plural. Synarthrosis is talking about singular, one. And we have two different types. We have our sutures, which are found in the skull. Again, these are immovable. And then we have our syndesmosis, or syndesmoses, which allow more movement. And the example with these are going to be between our tibula and fibula. Remember, those are the two lower portions of our leg bone. Now, these two don't really move much, but it does have a fibrous connection, or fibrous tissue, which does put it into the fibrous joint. We have cartilaginous joints, or amphioarthroses. The bones are connected by cartilage. They are slightly movable, and examples of these are going to be your cartilage joints in between your vertebrae and in between the pelvis. Our synovial joints, or diarthroses. They are freely moving, and they are separated by a joint cavity. Within that joint cavity, we have synovial fluid, which is a clear fluid that helps lubricate those bones. Now, the synovial joints are the most numerous ones in the body, allowing all of our free movement. We have the articulating cartilage at the end of the bone. We have our joint capsule, which is a capsule of dense connective tissue. So we have our outer ligaments, our inner synovial membrane, and our joint cavity. So looking at all three, again, we have cartilaginous joints, which have cartilage in between. Fibrous joints that don't do much movement because they're bound together like a fiber. And then our synovial joints, which have a cavity and it allows for a lot of movement. There are 6 types of synovial joints. We have the ball and socket, we have the hinge, we have the saddle, we have the pivot, we have the conjoidal, and then we have the gliding. Let's take a look at these. The ball and socket Makes sense. Ball, and then a socket that encloses all around it. Still allows movement. So the ball of the head of one bone articulates in a cup-shaped cavity in another. Allows movements in all planes and rotations. This is going to be our shoulders and our hips. A hinge. Well, a hinge is a description that allows something to go in one movement, and only one movement. I cannot make my elbow go left and right. I can only make it go up and down. So the convex surface of one bone articulates with the concave surface of another. Does flexes and extensions. Examples are elbows, joints, knees, and phalanges. Only one direction. A saddle is a surface that have both convex and concave regions. The surface fits into one, the complementary surface into the other, and it allows for a variety of movements. So this is going to be your joint here in your hand or the joints in your toes. So between the carpals and the metacarpals of the thumb, allowing for a whole bunch of different movements. A pivot. A cylindrical surface of one bone articulates with a ring of the bones of the other, and ligaments. So, got one bone, got a circle with a hole in the other one, allowing for pivot and movement, such as our top two vertebrae in our neck. Remember we talked about that we have our axis, and then the top vertebra is going to be our atlas, that's going to be able to rotate. An example are the radius and the ulna, as well as the tibula and fibula. And now we have gliding. So, gliding is articulating surfaces that are nearly flat or maybe slightly curved, and they slide past each other or twist past each other, such as our ankle, wrist, our ribs, and our sternum. Finally, we have the chondroidal, which is an oval shape of one into an elliptical shape of the other. Now this may resemble a ball and socket, except instead of having the socket go all the way around the ball, it's more of an oval shape, and it fits into this. It allows for a variety of movements in different planes, but no actual rotation. This is going to be our phalanges and our metacarpals. And that's all I've got for you today. Bye!